1988, the launch of the Alien as the Maroons wipe the board.
Gilbeister was trailing and he couldn't get it away. Tedesco. The launch of the Alien.
He's outside the 22. Langer waits it into the end goal. Oh, touch and go.
Leading the scrum will be Queensland match winner Alfie Langer against Ricky Stewart for New South Wales. The locks are Game 2 try scorer Billy Moore.
What a great New South Wales try!
1991, farewell the King.
It's all over. Queensland take out the 91 series. Easily the best series in Origin history.
Nobody's irreplaceable, but Wally Lewis, well, he probably comes as close as anybody. And there's that other fellow, Alan Langer, who's got plenty of memorable moments up his sleeve. Maybe a few tonight. We'll have more from the Sydney Football Stadium right after the break. Since Queensland squared the series a fortnight ago. Let's see how they line up.
The fullbacks are Dale Shearer and Andrew Eddinghausen. On the wings, Michael Hancock and Rod Wishart.
Brunker, not held, tries to slither across.
On the other flank, Adrian Brunker meets the experienced Chris Johns, coming in for the injured Graham Mackay. In the centres, Mark Coyne does battle with Brad Fittler.
The runners are coming from onside position. Shearer's there in time.
And into the big man, storms down into the 22.
And Maroon skipper Mal Meninga and Paul McGregor resume their contest. The 5/8s are Peter Jackson and New South Wales captain Laurie Daly.
Coming away with the ball is Darrell. He's outside the 22. Langer waits it into the end goal. Oh, touch and go.
Leading the scrum will be Queensland match winner Alfie Langer against Ricky Stewart for New South Wales. The locks are Game 2 try scorer Billy Moore and Bradley Clyde.
A mistake, cleaned up.
In the second row, workaholic Gary Larson and big Paul Seranen. And John Hoss Cartwright and Bob Linder.
Oh, sensational run by Bobby Linder. That'll lift the whole Queensland side.
In the front row, vying for Aussie jerseys are the experienced Martin Bella and young giant Paul Harrigan.
Harrigan with a strong, hard run. Harrigan.
Now it's Gavin Allen. Turns on the power.
On the opposite opposite side of the scrum, Gavin Allen gets to grips with his Brisbane Broncos teammate, Glenn Lazarus.
Bella inside the 22. The two big men come together there.
The hookers are Steve Walters and Benny Elias. The reserves for Queensland are Kevin Walters, Steve Jackson, Darren Smith and Mike McLean. On the bench for New South Wales are Craig Salvatore, David Gillespie, Brad Mackay and new boy Tim Brasher.
Now Clyde, he makes some good yards. Oh, gets crunched.
And he gets it away. It's been flung back. It's a try.
Queensland's pack might be giving away a decided weight advantage, but their mobility and work rate should more than compensate. In the backs, the Maroons have a good blend of size and speed, with Alfie Langer again looking their most potent strike weapon. The New South Wales forwards blend strength with great ball skills. The Canberra pairing of Stewart and Daly have the responsibility of getting a youthful but very clever backline firing.
Well, with their thoughts on the teams and the latest on Bob Lindner, here's Peter Sterling with Paul Vautin.
Yes, Ken, great doubt about Bob Lindner playing in tonight's game. Paul Vautin has been to the Queensland sheds and has the latest on that situation.
Well, Peter, Bobby Lindner is out tonight. He has a stomach virus and could not take his place on the field. Mike McLean will take his place on the field in jersey number 17. Gary Coyne is number 12. He will go onto the reserves bench.
Well, that's the worst possible preparation for Queensland. Enough to tip it New South Wales way?
I'll turn it up, Sterling. No, I'll stick with the Maroons. New South Wales will now be long odds on favourites, but I'll stick with the Queenslanders.
Well, Ken, a major shock. Bobby Lindner not playing tonight. That's certainly a blow for Queensland. Back to you.
Thanks, Peter. Well, not long now to the decider, the third game in the State of Origin series for 1992. Back with more after the break. Situation right now in the dressing rooms. Not a place to be unless you're as big as Steve Roach. Steve, you've been in many of these situations. What's it like?
Well, that's right, Kenny. It's one thing to play in a State of Origin, but to play in a State of Origin decider, that's something else. This is going to be one hell of a game.
Well, of course, a lot of test jumpers up for grabs. There's the New South Wales dressing room.
Yeah, Laurie Daly limbering up there, and he's got to have a big one tonight. It'll be undecided whether he's going to play at 5'8" or in the centres for Australia.
Young McGregor.
Yeah, he's certainly got a big chance to make a centre partner for Mal Meninga in the test side if he has a big one tonight.
And, of course, other contenders there, Bradley Clyde and, of course, Benny Elias there too.
Well, that's going to be the big duel tonight, isn't it? Walters versus Elias. And, you know, Benny's ahead on points at the moment, but if Walters has a big one tonight, I think he might get the nod.
Well, Queensland have been hit by the injury to Bob Lindner. I wonder what the reaction is to it.
Well, I'm sure the New South Welshmen will try not to worry about it, but it's one thing about this Queensland side. When they get injuries, they certainly bring on players that can perform in these big games.
Well, there's we can see the back of McLean. He's the man who's taken Lindner's spot.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on him tonight, but, you know, he's done it before, and I'm sure he'll do a good job.
And Hancock, the winger.
Yeah, well, you know, I think he's a certainty for the test side, Michael Hancock.
What about this fella, Langer?
Well, Alfie Langer's a lay-down bazaar.
What would they be going through this fellow's head, the captain, Mal Meninga?
Yeah, well, Mal, you know, he's had plenty of criticism, but he proved them wrong in the second State of Origin. I'm sure that he'll have a big one tonight.
Thanks, Steve. Look forward to your comments throughout the evening on this State of Origin decider for 1992. Back with the game right after this. A big crowd here. It's a sellout, terrific atmosphere, waiting to see just who is going to come out in the 92 series as the big winners. And of course, Queensland hit hard tonight with the news that Bob Lindner is out through illness, replaced by Mike McLean. But there you can see a portion of this terrific crowd that's turned up here. Perfect weather conditions, been an absolutely glorious day here in Sydney, and it will top off a marvellous 24 hours in this great town if the Blues can come up with the win tonight. But who knows? They haven't won a decider. There's been 4 of them played. They've not won one. Queensland have always come up with the goods. But this could be their big night. And calling all the action tonight will be Darrell Eastlake and Ray Warren. Darrell.
Thank you, Kenny. Well, look at this sight. Fantastic. The Blues crowd have really, really turned out in big numbers here. Sellout crowd. Signs up all over the ground for their favourite players. And this is a marvellous sight. Ray Warren, it wasn't so long ago when these games were played at the Sydney Cricket Ground that the New South Wales side didn't get the support they richly deserved.
Yeah, it's a fair comment, Darrell. As we look down on more shots of the crowd, they're doing the The Mexican wave at the moment. They're starting to pump themselves up in the bleachers right now as we come down to this big one. And King Langer, what sort of an impact will he have on this game tonight?
Daly and Langer, gee, two big players. Daly, of course, hasn't had a lot of chances in the series. Knocked senseless and then forced out of position in the other game. So expecting big things from him tonight. And the flags go up, the Mexican wave go up. We've got fans with a little television screen of himself there. And, of course, the Laurie Daly mask. There were 40,000 of those handed out. I guess they'll come into play when the sides run out. But a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere here if you're watching us in North Queensland, in Western Australia. Big support for rugby league over there. We know that you love your state of origin football in South Australia. In Adelaide, a great turnout for the game not so long ago. In Melbourne, great rating figures from Melbourne. And all of those states are taking this game live in peak time. And, of course, New South Wales, Queensland, all of the country centres. I only wish you could all be here for this wonderful turnout for the Blues. We know that Lang Park support their team in the biggest possible way, and now it's happening here in Sydney town, and it really is great to see it. And watch all those masks go on the face when Laurie Daly leads the Blues out tonight. We've had the Mexican wave, and as the cameras go around, everybody wants to say hello. Hail King Laurie. Traffic jams right around the Sydney area early this afternoon. Absolutely jam-packed Sydney football stadium. Also like to welcome the members of the Great Britain touring side. They'd be watching this game on television, and the Test series coming, and of course Test jumpers up for grabs tonight at the completion of this game.
Yes, that'll be named an hour after the completion of this game. The Australian Test side, here they come. The Blues coming down the tunnel right now.
Let out by the big cockroach. Everybody pumped up here for a big one. Laurie Daly, Benny Elias, Wishart there as they come out. Watch for the mask up, because this is what it's all about. State of origin, the Winfield decider. The Blues come out for a thunderous applause. Crowd revved up, Daly's revved up. Sydney Football Stadium comes alive. Cartwright expects some big play from him tonight. McGregor was sensational in the first game, and this is where he played it. And here they come, the Queenslanders. Mal Meninga leads the Maroons out for the decider, the Winfield decider. And Gavin Allen there, Hancock there, Jackson there, key players. Blake McLean with a fuzzy hair you can see coming out, stepping in tonight. Bobby Lindner out injured. Larson, a great player. Bunker, Walters, Shearer. So both sides out on the park now. The laser lights are flying. The crowd just alive here. It's great to be here to feel the excitement of this decider. Let's go through the sides for you. Billy Moore at lock, then Larson, McLean, Bella and Allen and Walters make up the front row for Queensland. In the back line, Dale Shearer been in sensational form. Hancock and Brunker the wings. Coinman into the centres, and Jackson and Langer the pivots. For New South Wales, Bradley Clyde will lock the pack from Siren and Cartwright in the second row. Lazarus, Harrigan and Elias make up the front row. Eddinghausen at fullback, Wishart and Chris Johns, the new player on the wing, not a new player to State of Origin though. McGregor and Fittler, Daly, Stewart make up the Blues side. Standing by now for the national anthem sung tonight by, I guess, the lady who sings it the best as far as I'm concerned, Julie Anthony. Julie Anthony with a great rendition of the national anthem. Will bolt yourself into your seats, Australia. Hang on to your chairs. This will be a ripper. Referee is Eddie Ward, the 41-year-old sheet metal worker. His Origin debut, but he's been in charge of 8 tests, including the Papua New Guinea Great Britain test of last Sunday. Was a touch judge in the very first Origin match way back in July 8, 1980. So Eddie Ward, Origin debut in the centre. What a match to take control of. Bradley Clyde, the man they call one of the best players in the world, if not the best. Walters, he'll be smart around the dummy half tonight. Harrigan, been tough right through the series, looking for his first green and gold jumper. Little nod to the boys. I'm ready, he says. Eddie Ward's ready. We're ready. Hang on to your seats. The Winfield State of Origin decider underway. Queensland first use of the ball. They decide to return it straight away through Shearer. Shades of Lang Park. New South Wales. Oh, a big hit from Shearer as he came through to a bone rattler to start off proceedings. Daly scoops it away. Clyde takes it up. They take him. Centre field just into Queensland's territory. Elias pops one up for Lazarus. Lazarus straight and hard. Back for Elias. Out it goes to Stewart. Looking for the run as it goes to Daly. They've got some movement going as Richard takes the ball. But Bunker takes him. Off comes the jumper. Penalty to New South Wales.
And Darrell, a very enterprising start from both teams there. Dale Shearer kicking early and following through very, very well. Queensland, didn't they get a cheer when they went to their back line? They've earned the first penalty. I think we'll see some good open play tonight. Perfect playing conditions.
Steve Roach on the sidelines. It looks like we're going to see some ball movement this time round.
Well, Darrell, New South Wales has showed their hand very early. I just hope they can keep it up.
In a great attacking position, New South Wales. 23 out from the line. Wishart takes the settler. McLean comes in. Back for Stewart. On to Sirinen. Again, a red wall meets him, though. Still outside the 20 now. It goes to Elias. He flicks it and changes direction. Stewart. Oh, McGregor couldn't take it, but Stewart takes it. And they've got a bit of movement outside. Again, the referee pulls it up. Penalty Queensland.
Yes, the ball did go forward there off McGregor back onto Stewart. They looked very dangerous out wide, the New South Wales players, when they switched that ball. Queensland playing a very short defensive line, and New South Wales tonight, we're going to see them try and run around the outside of the Queenslanders.
Well, there we see the incident there, and a penalty awarded to Queensland. But even though we've seen this ball movement, don't think that there's going to be any less emphasis put on the defence. Whatever team can set the platform with their defensive effort will go on and win this game.
Peter Jackson finds a line deep in New South Wales territory. So Queensland now with their first chance of attack, and up comes Bella. And they belt Bella down too. Bella plays it back to Walters. It comes on for Allen. Allen goes hard and straight and makes 4 or 5 valuable ones. Cartwright over the top. For Billy Moore. Billy Moore decides to run, almost busted too, but they come back and get him. Harrigan, Lazarus doing the work there. They change the point of attack to Alfie. Little Langer puts a chip kick through. He gets interfered with. Let's see what the referee says. There was a knock-on. That's what he says. Eddinghausen has a look and not too happy about that.
Yeah, Alfie had no support with him on the outside. He had to do the little chip. And Eddinghausen came through at pace but knocked it on. See Eddinghausen come through now. Just couldn't control the football.
Well, Langer does have one of the best kicking games out of any player in the competition. And here we see the New South Wales backline offside. Peter Jackson going forward has taken the quick tap. They decide to run it through Meninga straight away.
Meninga bustling his way and bustling his way right on the line. I don't know if he's got it down. No, sir. Oh, big run from Meninga. Got to play the ball quickly out. It comes along the line to Larson. Larson now, he hustles a few.
Well, if he was held up over the try line, why wasn't it a 5-metre scrum? They retain possession and go wide once again.
This is Allen. Allen driven into the turf here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Sheridan comes back and bustles him again. Now it goes to Langer. Chance for Queensland with Meninga. Meninga ball down 2 metres out, though. All the pressure coming from Queensland here at the moment. Bella gets it to Langer. Out along the line down to Jackson. He stab kicks it. Bounces in the infield, in the in-goal area. Elias takes it. Oh, pressure from Queensland with a capital P. And, of course, Benny put his foot over the dead ball line.
Well, good cover from Ben Elias, but again, I come back to the fact it did look as though Meninga was actually held up over the line 3 or 4 plays previous. Here's Elias. That's great work from the hooker. But if that was the case, then it should have been a 5-metre scrum with the defending team's feed.
Steve Roach.
Yeah, plenty of pressure on the New South Welshman. That was great play from Benny Elias to cover up. He can certainly read a game.
So Queensland again with the use of the football now. Ashira brings it up. Lazarus over the top. Harrigan underneath. Oh, started at a fierce pace this game and a lot of ball movement so far. Now it goes to Jackson from Langer. Jackson can't get the ball away though. They wrap him up ball and all. Forced to play it. Oh, a little mistake there from Wallace. To play the ball was just a bit hard.
Yeah, Peter Jackson, who certainly had his cake the pops this morning, he really rifled that one back. And the dummy half just couldn't control it. Another knock on when Queensland was pressing their line.
Blues ball. Comes on to Johns. Johns wrapped up though quickly by Billy Moore. Cartwright. Oh, plenty of defence. It's tough out there. No quarter asked and none given as Lazarus makes a charge and a hard run. Lots of commitment from the New South Wales forwards at this stage.
New South Wales forwards playing particularly well, as are the Queensland counterparts. Some good defence, certainly moving up very quickly, and that's what you have to do. Meet the player on the advantage line. Don't let them get the momentum up. The ball control has been only reasonable from both teams there. Well, what about that for hit? Paul Harrigan hasn't moved.
Harrigan just not flat. With a big shoulder charge there. Watch this. That was the 5th tackle. Watch Harrigan. Bang. Thank you. From Allen. Hit the deck and didn't move. Harrigan still down, playing on the ground. The ball bouncing deep in Queensland's territory. Will it find the line? Yes, it does. Harrigan still hasn't moved. Now he gets up. He has no idea he is at this stage. Have a look at the look on his face. Well, state of origin, rough and tough, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, that was certainly a fantastic hit by Gavin Allen on Harrigan. Harrigan's leaving the field now, and David Gillespie, the man who'll come on to replace him.
Queensland ball through Langer. On to Bunker. Look at this. Look at this. Defence from New South Wales from Newcastle. Just driving back 5 or 6. Talk about tough. Fantastic stuff here. Meninga can't go anywhere. He's got to play it. Well, Blocker, what about this defence?
Well, they're the sorts of things that win matches, the defence early. New South Wales retaliated and replying right now.
Queensland trying to get out of their danger zone through Bella. Has a look, Bella too, not too happy.
Well, that takes the pressure off. A little bit of over-enthusiasm there from the New South Wales players, but a magnificent hit there on Paul Harrigan has put him out of the game early. We don't like seeing that. Now David Gillespie, who's a very experienced campaigner, well, he's certainly going to add plenty of starch to the defence with his performance.
Queensland again through Bella. Bella turns his back to try and unload, but can't. The defence too strong. Lazarus Sirenen comes back for Wallers. He fakes to Langer. He gets a beautiful ball up to Allen. On to Shearer. Shearer loads again. Langer scoops it up. Jackson straightens it up and goes hard. Gillespie comes in and gets him. Fantastic football at the moment. Meninga. Chopped out one and bang. Wishart comes in and says there's one from us. Meninga scoops it out for McLean. McLean driven down. Oh boy, they're bone rattlers tonight, every one of them. Jackson puts his boot to the ball and dribbles it along the ground and will find the line too. Well, we've had attack and we've had defence. We've had everything so far but a try.
Yeah, the defence is everything you would expect out of state of origin football. As Phil Gould looks on, the coach, he'd be happy with the way things are going for his side. Only 10 minutes into the match. It's certainly a beauty so far.
Well, they're scrummed to pack, about 11 out. The Winfield decider here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are around Australia. As Langer. Langer goes from the base of the scrum. Eddinghausen gets him though. Again, the referee steps in.
Well, that was a big plus for Queensland, winning one against the feed there, but Alan Langer very uncharacteristically has come up with a knock-on from the ensuing play of the ball, only one tackle, but that's a big play in state of origin to come up with one against the feed.
New South Wales have got to run out of the danger zone, get out of trouble now. Laurie Daly goes into acting half, scoops the ball out. But again, this defence, look at Clyde, just got hammered.
And another penalty for 5 metres. And now one of the Queenslanders has been called out for this tackle. Eddie Ward's called someone out. Looks like McLean.
Yeah, it is McLean. He did go high, I think, and certainly with the new rule that has come in, anything anywhere around the neck or the head is going to be pulled up. McLean, we see it here.
Yeah, well, the first shot was high, no doubt about that. Look at him right round the neck there.
Jackson having a bit to say, and that surprises me a little after what happened in Queensland. Ray Warren, this start, 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Certainly is, Darrell, and we find New South Wales taking this tap just outside their own 22 line as Paul Sirenen, he takes it up towards the 32-metre line. No score. The Winfield State of Origin decided from the Sydney Football Stadium. Lazarus got a nice ball out for Elias. Cartwright goes ahead. Stands and is able to get it away. Brunker coming over the top, snuffing out the New South Wales attack. Now it's with Brad Fittler, wrapped up by Langer. Stewart getting that big kick in this time. Going down, an awkward bounce for Michael Hancock. Great broken field player, though. Here he comes back. Met by Stewart. And so it's Dale Shearer.
And that's been very good work so far by both the kickers for the teams. Dale Shearer and Ricky Stewart have followed their own kicks down, and with the new rule with the offside from the chase from the players going through, they've certainly done a good job. It puts all the players onside straight away.
Forward pass. Gavin Allen not very happy about the ruling by Eddie Ward. Now Cartwright's being called out. Sideline comment, block a roach.
Yeah, Paul Harrigan's got some blood coming from his mouth, but he should be right to come back to the field in just a couple of minutes.
New South Wales with a loose head and feed. 28 metres out from the line. Stewart, bullet-like pass out for Fittler. They put on a play. Eddinghausen, Wishart, steps inside the 10-metre. Great run by Wishart. Tremendous play by the Blues.
And great tackle, Dale Shearer coming across for Queensland.
Daly. McGregor. Beats one. Stands in a second. Floats it out. Johns now. Johns pulled down. 15 metres out from the line. No score on the board. Stewart. Daly. Daly tries to step them. Pulled down in a desperate tackle by Bella. Elias. Now it's Cartwright. Cartwright will take the tackle 5 metres out from the line. Elias. Stewart. Daly. Daly across. Links up with Fittler. Trying to get a ball for Gillespie. Scrum to go down.
Some great play by the Blues there. Enterprising football, throwing the ball around. And this big long pass from Stewart. This one hit him on the knees. Well, I don't think his hands touched that. That could have been possibly a try.
And as you pointed out, Paul, Queensland playing a very condensed defensive line. And with that long pass from Ricky Stewart, first receiver, they are giving them plenty of problems out wide.
13-minute marker, first half. Series all locked up as Brunker takes the tackle. Lazarus was the man. Hancock. Now they work the blind side to McLean. Out and over the 22-metre line. Bumper crowd here at the football stadium in Sydney. Larson. The kick coming for Peter Jackson. Ben Elias went through and put some charge down pressure on the kicker. Andrew Eddinghausen. He knows that his position in the test side is on the line here. And he makes a great run out to the 32-metre line. Clyde. New South Wales. They're coming in wave after wave. Elias. Over the halfway line now. Penalty goes to New South Wales. Queensland inside the 5.
Yeah, had to be a penalty, that one. Mark Coyne was there. He was never, ever onside, never attempted to get onside. And Eaglewood had no hesitation in giving the penalty. And New South Wales now, this will allow them more pressure on the Queensland line.
Penalties are 3-3. Steve Roach.
Queensland using the sliding defence here, Ray, and New South Wales go is to turn the ball back inside. That's where they're going to make a lot of space for themselves.
Great attacking position now for the Blues. Only 15 metres out from the line. Wishart. 20 metres in from touch, 12 metres out. Stewart, short ball for Sirenen. The big man from Balmain. He's got play right in the centre of the park. Elijah. They put the switch on again. They put it on. Stewart! Stewart will score! Stewart gets the first try. Oh, beautiful play. Queensland opened up, and Ricky Stewart has scored.
Ricky Stewart's done it all on his own. A great individual try. Let's give some credit to the New South Wales decoys, though. The decoys made it very easy. Lowe's not happy about that. And they switched it back to the blind, the Blues. They brought a couple in. Some good decoys. Stewart looks. Vella didn't come up the line. He just stood there flat-footed, and that gave Stewart the opportunity to run straight around him, and that's his second Origin try.
Well, if New South Wales can get their inside backs running at front rowers, they're going to have a picnic. Martin Bella didn't come out off the line. Peter Jackson outside him had his man marked, but every New South Wales player in motion, and that enabled Ricky Stewart to throw a couple of dummies through a yawning gap at the end, but no forward came out to meet Ricky Stewart, and that was Martin Bella's assignment.
Isn't that a good side, Peter, to see Ricky Stewart running? I think he's a great runner of the football, and sometimes he doesn't run enough in football games, but tonight he is certainly doing that and creating a lot of havoc.
Well, we know he hasn't had a lot of football and probably had a little bit more coming into this final game, and he's a key member out there. His long passing game has been very astute tonight, certainly given his outside men a lot of opportunities. He's run in the first try, certainly leaving his stamp on the game.
It was one of the big talking points coming up to the game. If Ricky Stewart runs, he could cause havoc for the Queenslanders. But those two decoy runners for the Blues, they put Stewart eyeball to eyeball with Bella, and he went around Bella and put it down for the first try. New South Wales leading by 4 points to 0. Rod Wishart, big performer in State of Origin 1. That green and gold jumper, maybe only a couple of hours away. Puts it in the air, left the boot nicely, but it's just wide. No goal by Wishart, but the Blues lead Queensland by 4 points to 0. Steve Roach.
Martin Bella broke the golden rule for front rowers, never get caught wide of the ruck. Ricky Stewart used him right up then.
So back to the halfway mark, the try scorer on camera, Ricky Stewart.
Well, I do think it was important for New South Wales to run in some points. For 15 minutes, they had looked more likely, the two sides, to score, and they finally converted that into points.
Sirenen out to his own quarter-way line. Ben Elias tries to go for a dummy half scoot. Bundled into the turf by Walters. Ward said, play on. Lazarus. 32-metre line, just at the bottom corner of the screen. Now Stewart. That kick bouncing down favourably for Darrell Shearer, but he makes a mistake. They're all onside. Fittler comes up quickly on Shearer. Clyde goes in to give an assist. Brunker. Jackson. Now Queensland decide to spread the football. Meninga. Hancock. We're back about 28 metres away from the Queensland line now. Gavin Allen. He was the man that put Paul Harrigan out of the game. We're expecting that Harrigan will come back shortly. Lazarus. Costly mistake by Queensland, particularly with New South Wales in this attacking frame of mind. Clyde. Just outside the quarter, Stewart. Another decoy runner for Sirenen to go ahead. Gillespie scoops it away. Stewart takes on Langer. Stewart will play the ball. Centre of the ground. Cartwright shows it to Fittler. Gets away from Jackson. Gets it away for Wishart, but it's been knocked on. The scrum will go down about 5 metres inside the Queensland 22.
Well, it's nice to see New South Wales moving the ball, but they don't want to overdo it. There, Rod Wishart, well, he should have caught that football, but a couple of passes inside, certainly Paul Sirenen should never have been thrown. They have to attack when the opportunities present themselves. And here's another mistake here from Queensland.
Well, that's unbelievable football from Queensland. Dale Shearer knows better than that. A pressure pass, 20 metres from his own line. Look at this. No need to throw that, just had to take the tackle.
5-3 the scrums in favour of Queensland. That includes one against the head. Stewart works it. Now it's with Daly. Daly goes across the ground looking for Fittler. Fittler was looking for McGregor to go inside. Players just outside the Queensland 22. No marker on Fittler. 15 out from the line now. Ben Elias. Gee, that pass looked forward to Lazarus. Swept to the ground is Lazarus, though. Larson over the top, McLean underneath. Elias, a long ball away for Cartwright. Run around for Ben Elias, but read very well by Gavin Allen. 4-0 in favour of the Blues. Away now, cutting out Laurie Daly, picking up Paul McGregor. McGregor flicks it out the back, looking for Chris Johns, picked up by Daly. Daly, tantalisingly goes down the sideline. And Dale Shearer takes it over the in-touch in-goal line. So it's a line dropout, and New South Wales will come back with 6 more tackles.
So Daly now with a real good attack down that touchline. Got the toe to the ball. The defence came across and Shearer cleaned up. New South Wales leading 4-0 at this stage, showing lots of attack and lots of angles in attack. That's been the impressive thing, the way that they've run the different angles on the ball.
Yeah, they're looking good, and a couple of times where they've drifted across field, the inside pass has been on. They haven't given it. This will cause Queensland problems, and with the Queensland offence coming up very fast out wide, look out for the grubber kicking behind the line.
McGregor brings it back. Not a good kick from Dale Shearer. McGregor, centre field. Elias, Sheridan. Hustles and bustles a couple. New South Wales getting very organised. Elias turns around to have a look. He gets Bradley Clyde. Clyde now just on the 22. Stewart. Out. Now for Daly. Daly with a short ball on. Back it comes inside. Ettinghausen just scoops it up. They scoop him up. And they've lost a bit of ground there, the Blues, in attack. Elias again. Comes out for Fittler. Fittler stepping inside the 22, so they're back where they were 2 passes and 2 tackles ago. Elias to Stewart. Changes the point back to Daly. Daly shows the ball. Again it goes loose. Queensland jump on it.
Well, they outsmarted themselves there. Ben Elias was looking for a penalty in the play of the ball area, and that took away the kicking time from Ricky Stewart. They came back to blind. The ball went to ground. Just trying to be a little bit too adventurous, I believe, New South Wales. A little bit more control. Still look to move the football, but don't throw that final pass.
Queensland now, their chance. They're still deep in their own territory as Billy Moore brings it out. At 30 metres out. Time in possession, New South Wales 10 minutes, Queensland 7 minutes. New South Wales leading 4-0. Steve Roach, that's a big stat there, isn't it?
Oh, it's a good lead, but I'd have to agree with Sterlo. I think you've got to make the yards in the middle of the field before you decide to throw the ball wide. Otherwise, you're going to nigger yourself.
Jackson plays it back. Comes on to Gavin Allen. He takes play right into the halfway line.
What a turnabout. We're being critical of the teams not keeping it tight.
Jackson gets it to Shearer. Shearer now gets thrown down. 30 metres out, Queensland now. They'll go back through Hancock. He gets it on to Langer. Langer now looks for Jackson. He finds Jackson. Goes on to Larson. Larson straightens it up. Still going Larson. Strong player. Just inside the 22. They flick it across for Langer. He's dangerous from here. Puts his toe to the ball. Ettinghausen goes back. Just manages to stay in the field play. Can he get it out? Yes! Only just. He had to work very hard, Andrew Ettinghausen, to keep that one alive.
Yeah, that's great play from Ettinghausen to beat Langer and then get into the field of play. That's a good gutsy effort. And now the penalty goes to New South Wales for being pushed back into the in-goal area against Queensland.
Well, that surprises me, that penalty. Gavin Allen came through and looked to get a very good hit on here after Michael Hancock made the initial contact. Gee, I thought it was still in motion. I think that's a tough penalty against Queensland.
Yeah, I think he might have got Larson, the last man in. He might have ruled that he might have even called held, Peter, and Larson may have come in a bit late.
Well, if he did call held, it was very early because the players were still moving. I thought the tackle was still being effective.
So now, New South Wales restart on their 22. Sheridan brings it up. McLean over the top. Billy Moore underneath. Larson in there too. Lost ball. Queensland with a chance now. Walters starts to step. Lazarus put the ball down. And they're just outside the 22. Comes up to Martin Vella. Vella goes 4 or 5. They take him with Sheridan and also Cartwright. Walters to Langer. Langer looks for Billy Moore, but it doesn't go to him. It goes to McLean. McLean drops the ball again. Ricky Stewart appealing. McLean may have hurt himself there falling onto the ball. So this scrum will pack. Let's have a look at it again because you see McLean went to unload it, fell straight on the ball. Stewart comes out for Johns. Still in their 22, the Blues. Gee whiz, hasn't Clyde been busy tonight? Making some tough yards up the centre.
And so's the man just around his legs there, Gary Larson. He's done a marvellous job. 13-odd tackles for Queensland so far, and he's really led the defensive work rate for Queensland when they've needed it.
Horse Cartwright takes it midway between the half and the quarter. Comes back for a kick. Stewart now drives it down. Hancock will clean it up for Queensland. Gets it on about the third bounce. Watching beat a man, always does the first one. Gets through one, gets through two. Still going. Can he link up? He does to it. Oh, Queensland there in the bunker. Stewart comes across and Ribby with a great tackle. Back it comes for Shearer. They keep it alive. It bounces away for Jackson. Jackson now, centre field. He straights it up. They come to him though. 32 out. Queensland. Out they come for Langer. Langer steps through. He finds a little gap too. Inside the 22 by a couple. Darren Smith warming up on the sideline. Penalty though has gone to Queensland, holding down Benny Elias. That's the ruling from Eddie Ward.
Yeah, here it is here on the screen there, and they're just holding out too long. No effort there by Elias or Cartwright to get off Langer. And this should be a gift 2 points for Queensland. Mal Meninga to take the kick 15 metres out right in front.
Well, Steve Roach, Mal Meninga hasn't really been that accurate close in. He's been very accurate with his long distance kicks, but the cities he's been muffing a bit.
I'm sure he'll concentrate on this one and put this one over. You know, it's interesting to see Queensland. They're only 4 points behind, and what a great gutsy effort it is from them tonight. You know, you'd think New South Wales were winning easily, but these guys are never dead.
No doubt about that. So Meninga now, lots of pressure on him. 20 metres out, slightly off centre. That's a good hard look at it. Eye looks to have a bit of swelling around it already too. 2 balls on the field at the moment. That won't worry him. There it goes. Flags go up, so the score now 4 points to 2. New South Wales leading Queensland in this, the Winfield State of Origin decider. Back they come, centre field. Well, they're nail-biters, there's no doubt about that.
Well, they can absorb some pressure, this Queensland side. Only 2 points in arrears now, and really on the weight of play and the way that the ball's been moved around, as Steve Roach pointed out, you'd think New South Wales would have been well in front on the scoreboard. And Queensland defended very, very well. They've been under a lot of pressure. They won't keep it down this end of the field long. They'll Shearer shape the kick. It'll only be a couple before they actually do.
So Shearer just inside the 22. Walters, Billy Moore takes play out of that danger zone, as we call it. Anything can happen in there at this level of football. It all happens so quickly. Martin Vella, he muscles his way 4 or 5 important ones too. They go the other way this way with Jacko this time around. And they're almost to the halfway line. This is good play from Queensland. They're making good territory. From dummy half they go again. This time Walters, and that's a great little run. Centre field now, midway between the half and the quarter. Langer puts his boot to the ball again, drives to the corner. Hopeful for the winger can get there. Just a little bit too deep, but the idea was good.
Oh, it's some great football there from Queensland. They made nearly 100 metres in those 6 tackles. Curtis, some fantastic quick play the balls. And the New South Wales forward's getting a little bit tired now around those rucks.
Steve Roach.
Darren Smith coming on for McLean.
So McLean coming off. And Darren Smith from Canterbury coming on. There's McLean. So New South Wales now, what can they do? Queensland showed us what they can do, make a lot of territory in 6 tackles. Gillespie now, he goes hard and straight. They take him midway between the half and the quarter. New South Wales into the ground. Cartwright starts to stride. Watch for the little passes from him if they can trail him up. Elias gets it back for Stewart. Stewart decides the only way to get out of trouble is to kick it. Shearer, though, beautifully positioned Shearer. He's had a great series. Gets away, Shearer too. He's got plenty of pace. Takes the tackle. But look where they are midway between the half and the quarter. Loose ball. Got to be cleaned up by Brunker. Smith. New player on. Walters to Langer. Langer to Jackson. Jackson looks for a little hole. Can't get there, though. Still short of the halfway line. Bella winds up. That's the halfway line he's just got over. They drive him back with Sirinen and Lazarus. Centre field. Which way do they go? To Alfie Langer. Will he kick again? Shapes to kick. Was going to, I think, but the defence just got to him too quickly. Comes back for Jackson. Jackson takes the stab kick. Eddinghausen goes across to cover, but it finds touch 10 metres out.
And Peter Jackson really starting to come into his own in this game. Plays like an extra forward, and I think that's how he plays best. His kicking game has been very astute. When he sees a gap close into the ruck, he's very quick to take advantage of it. And if Queensland are to go on and be competitive and win this game, Peter Jackson will play a leading role with his probing runs.
4 points to 2 in favour of the New South Wales Tooheys Blues in the Winfield State of Origin decider from the Sydney Football Stadium. Scrums are 5-5, including one against the head for the Queenslanders as Wishart is tackled. 5 metres inside his 22. Struck 4 in the play of the ball by Shearer. So 6 more tackles for the Blues of New South Wales. Lazarus. Right on his own 22 as Paul Harrigan prepares to come back into the battle. Crunching tackle there. Gavin Allen, has he had a game, particularly in defence? Darren Smith gave him an assist.
Paul, with the way that they've played this game at a whirlwind pace, New South Wales, can you see that the tide may be turning just a little bit now? Queensland making the yards a little bit easier than they were early on in the game.
Well, they certainly are. Some of these big fellas from the Blues starting to look just a little bit ragged, a little bit tired. Paul Siren's had a fine game, but in defence he's just not moving up like he was, same as Hoss Cartwright.
Big kick by Stewart. It was taken just a touch late. Referee Ward said play on. Shearer taken by Wishart. Daly coming over the top. Brunker. Daly goes out from marker, but Brunker's able to beat him and also Clyde before being wrapped up by Gillespie.
And good to see Paul Harrigan back on the field. That's him, well, just beaten in the tackle there. It was a good run from Michael Hancock. He's replaced Glenn Lazarus.
Walters a dummy half right on the halfway mark. Langer across for Jackson, taken by Gillespie. Working overtime, Gillespie. Now it's Billy Moore for Langer. Bella running off 2 pivots. Takes play down 35 metres out from the Blues line. This is the last tackle. Langer puts the ball down inside the 22. Wishart goes back. Rodney Wishart from the Illawarra Steelers. He comes out beyond the 10-metre line. 4 points to 2, a try for Ricky Stewart. Great try for the Blues. And Inga brings it back to 4-2 with a penalty. That's the way the records read at the moment in State of Origin 3. Clyde. Leading the hit-ups for New South Wales is Brad Clyde at the moment.
I'd love to see Bradley Clyde get out a bit wider, you know, Ray, and run off some pivots and get himself running at some backs, because at the moment all he's doing is using himself as a battering ram and he's getting smashed.
Stewart now fading across the ground, finding Paul McGregor. Uses the fend to beat 2 of them.
Well, he did very well there, McGregor. Firstly to catch the football, which looked like going over his head, and second staying away from the sideline. So we see the last, plenty of pressure coming through once again on the New South Wales kicker. But good work from McGregor and a nice kick from Stewart.
Shearer now on his own 22 and beyond. David Gillespie. Cartwright came over the top. No marker. Shearer pinches another 7 metres. Sheridan down low. Harrigan over the top. Langer's the dummy half. Now it's Brunker folding in from the wing to take first receivership. Steve Roach, a sideline comment.
Queensland have taken all New South Wales pressures. I look to Alan Langer and Peter Jackson are coming their own now. They're starting to get on top.
So as half-time draws upon us, 5.5 minutes away, it's Peter Jackson giving the ball for Darren Smith. 5 tackles gone for the Maroons. Langer scurries away from dummy half, plugs that ball down into the corner. Eddinghausen's across there. Langer leads the race down the ground, and a magic tackle by the little fellow. Good piece of play by Alfie Langer there. Stewart. Ricky Stewart gives the impression that he's almost regained peak fitness. He's prepared to run with the ball. His kicking game has been better. Already he's got a try in his bag. Out of State of Origin 3 for Winfield. Cartwright. 32-metre line on your screen. Stewart shows out for Daly. Daly gets it on wider, and Clyde puts it down. Knock on will be ordered. No advantage for Queensland. And the scrum will go down 10 metres on the blue side of halfway.
And that's the mistake that Queensland were looking for into the final 5 minutes now of this first half. Bradley Clyde just looking to force it a little bit too much there. Had bad ball security. He's paid the penalty. And a good set of 6 coming up here for Queensland as we approach half-time.
Some of the Blues forwards taking a long time to get over and pack into that scrum. Shades of State of Origin 1 when they started to look very fragile in the last 10 minutes before half-time. Billy Moore. Walters is a dummy half. Bella wants it. This is him. Cartwright coming over the top. McGregor underneath. Now from Walters. Langer. Jackson. Wide ball. Meninga shows it once. Dummage. Cut-out ball. This is Brunker. Up inside the 22 line. Back to Meninga. Hurdles the fallen players. But Brad Fittler comes away with the ball for the Blues. Fittler puts the head down. Gets it outside the quarter-way line. 25 metres, in fact, from his own line. Now it's Daly. That's a forward pass.
Yeah, that's poor play from New South Wales. It's just lackadaisical stuff right in front of their own post. 25 metres out. Can't believe it. Forward pass this.
No doubt about it. Ward was on the spot. Quickly from the scrum. It's come to Shearer now on the blind side. Able to get the ball to Brunker. Brunker taken by Ricky Stewart, though. 18 metres out from the line. Was that a play the ball?
No, it wasn't. And Eddie Ward, he's had a fine game tonight. Eddie Ward, a lot of criticism to him when he was picked to referee this game, but he's had a blinder. Best player in the field, Eddie.
Well, he hasn't missed a thing tonight, Eddie Ward, has he? And that certainly wasn't played with the foot by Adrian Brunker. And again, the pressure off New South Wales. Real danger time. 3 minutes left on the clock. Very happy to see that mistake made.
Scrum won by the Blues. Eddinghausen came into the 5/8 position from fullback. And Eddinghausen wrapped up by Peter Jackson. Now it's Clyde's turn. Maybe it's not his turn, but he's quite happy to take it willingly. Played by Clyde. Elias goes out from dummy half. Pops up a short ball for Harrigan. But Darren Smith is there to wrap him up with Gary Larson. His defensive performance, Gary Larson, has been outstanding in this first half for the Queenslanders. Gillespie, 32 metres out from his own line. They work the blind side, a wide blind side. Sirenen away for Daly. McGregor can't handle. Queensland come away with the football. Larson. Billy Moore. Wrapped into the ground there by Cartwright over the top. Queensland now with 2 minutes before half-time, looking to put their first try on the board. Good bumping run by Hancock. Gets it down to almost the quarter-way line. Danger for New South Wales. Walters, long ball, taken on the bounce by Coyne. He gets it back down to the 22 line, Mark Coyne, and he's pulled down by the New South Wales defence. Scrambling now. Allen stands in the tackle. They didn't wrap up the football. Langer gets it. Oh, Langer got under a high tackle from Cartwright. No marker. Langer goes himself. He looks for the corner. Knocked down by the Blues. Desperate stuff by New South Wales.
Oh, Chris Johns, take a bow. He saved the try, no doubt about that. Alan Langer came to the left, and Johnsy sticks his hand out and knocks the pass down.
Yeah, try saver that one. Only a minute 10 on the clock. Crucial piece of play there from Chris Johns. I thought that Alan Langer actually had a marker. John Cartwright was in the vicinity. The referee called play on. And the Blues nearly conceded a try right at the death of this first half.
Here it is again for Queensland to throw it around. It's out with Meninga. Turns it back inside for Dale Shearer. Taken head on by Daly and Eddinghausen. They're 12 metres out from the line, right in the centre of the ground. Jackson looking for a runner. Couldn't find one. Goes around in a 360. Billy Moore looking for his second State of Origin try. Pulled down 2 metres out. Walters away from Meninga. Meninga stepping and trying to get it away. He does. Larson away for Bella now. Now it's gone back to Darren Smith. He's tackled. New South Wales defence is great at the moment.
Oh, he had numbers outside him, but if he could have got a quick ball away, it was 3-on-1. They're still going. Walters from dummy half.
Walters. Pulled down by Stewart and Sirenen. Still 12 metres out. A real test for New South Wales. Meninga out for Peter Jackson. Shaped the kick. Steps away from Bradley Clyde. McGregor takes him. He didn't pass from the ground, said the referee. Clyde, he cleans up for New South Wales, and they've weathered the storm. There's the siren as Harrigan runs it out. And so at half-time, the Blues, they lead the Queensland Maroons by 4 points to 2. Sensational try by Ricky Stewart midway through the first half. And then a penalty for Mal Meninga. And what a match we have here. The decider. And this big crowd at the Sydney Football Stadium. And you people right around Australia. I hope you're enjoying it on the wide world of sports on the 9 network. Peter Sterling will join Ken Sutcliffe. We'll be back with more action from State of Origin 3 in just a moment.
Football Stadium, New South Wales lead Queensland 4-2 at the break. Peter Sterling, your assessment of the first half.
Well, it's the best 40 minutes of State of Origin football we've seen in this series, I believe, Ken. A very ferocious opening, some magnificent defence from both teams. Once the intensity went out of that defence, some good ball movement. The try that we will see was a magnificent piece of deception by the New South Wales team. Both teams have looked to move the football around. We've seen quite a few mistakes, but some really good attacking football and some tremendous defence.
Well, Ricky Stewart, they said if he ran, he'd be dangerous, and he certainly was with this try.
He's got play right in the centre of the park. Elijah, they put the switch on again. They put it off. Stewart! Stewart will score! Stewart gets the first try. Oh, beautiful play. Queensland opened up, and Ricky Stewart has scored.
Well, all the New South Wales team in motion here, and it's very difficult to be too critical of Martin Bella. He didn't come out, but he was in a tough situation trying to take a halfback. What Martin Bella did do wrong was plant his feet. We'll see here from this replay, he's actually standing still as Ricky Stewart goes past him there. Just couldn't get across. Dale Shearer coming across too late. There's some good decoy work from New South Wales, and a very happy Ricky Stewart ran into a gaping hole.
Well, they certainly looked dangerous, didn't they, New South Wales, when they spread the ball. Their backs look as though they are a bit creative, but they seem to me to be pushing the pass a little bit too often,
well, there's no doubt about that. And again, when we have a look at the statistics, quite a few mistakes, drop balls from both teams. Here we see probably the most outstanding statistics from the first half are the missed tackles and the handling errors down the bottom. The handling errors, 9-all, that's quite a few for both teams when you've only had 20 uses of the football. And the missed tackles, well, we've seen a lot of missed tackles because of the first player going up missing, and that leads to another couple. They're certainly errors from both teams as well. The coaches won't be happy with those statistics, but not much possession difference between both teams, but certainly the coaches will be stressing that you have to control the football better.
Laurie Daly a little bit quiet?
Not quite early when Stewart was hitting with the long pass, and they did create a lot of opportunities out wide. But tremendous defence from Queensland. They were under a lot of pressure for 20 minutes. They kept the opposition to 4. They've got 2 on the board. We've got a great game of football coming up, and both teams well and truly in this.
And Bradley Clyde, maybe you're running too much from the ruck, or would you like to see him a bit wider?
Well, a lot of times Bradley Clyde has to run because he's the only man there. So he's got a great workload. I can't knock Bradley Clyde. What I think he needs is a little bit of help there, especially running the ball out of danger territory. He's that good a player. He's getting there before his teammates are.
Okay, we've got another tight one in the State of Origin. The decider will be back with the second half right after the break. Football Stadium. We're just about ready for the second half of the decider between New South Wales and Queensland. Right now it's the Blues in front 4-2 at half-time. Only one try has been scored, and that by Ricky Stewart. But we've seen some marvellous football in the first half. Peter Jackson, the 5'8" for Queensland, certainly coming into his own and playing beautifully. Alan Langer starting to look dangerous, and who will ever forget that hit on Harrigan in the first few minutes of the game? It was really tough. He felt blue, like that fellow's got all over his face. Terrific crowd, good-natured crowd, ready for what will be a ripper of a second half. Here is Darrell Eastlake.
Thank you, Kenny. Look at them, all pumped up, all painted up, all revved up. Remember, Queensland have won the 4 deciders in Origin football in 1982, 83, 87 and 91. Now, let's have a look at the stats from this half.
Yeah, the penalties 4 all, nothing in them. Scrums 7 New South Wales, 8 to Queensland, 1 against the feed against Queensland. And the top tacklers, Paul Sirinen. Well, that is a surprise. Really not noted for his work rate in defence. 18 tackles, a fantastic effort by him. Lazarus and Elias doing their job. And for Queensland, Gary Larson, we've come to expect that on top. Out in the backs, not a great deal of tackling to do. Daly laying at the tops in those departments. 107 to 109.
So, everything in readiness for a second half that's going to decide this series, this Winfield decider in the Origin series. Crowd shaking their head. King Laurie. Blues flags, blue faces, blue hair. And at the scoreline at the moment is just a shade of the Blues, 4 points to 2. The Sydney Football Stadium, what a sight. Packed to the rafters here tonight. And right around Australia, we hope you're enjoying this from the north of Queensland to West Australia, South Australia, Victoria, Tasmania, New South Wales and Queensland. Your match, the decider. Daly, the new king. You see the Queenslanders coming in. Now, in the 92 series, only 35 points have been scored. New South Wales 22 for 3 tries. Queensland 13 for 2 tries. Really tight series. And if anything, Ray Warren, this crowd is just hushed. They've seen such a great half of football. They've seen such a great series. There's so much expectation of what can happen in the next 40 minutes.
Well, like everybody else, including these guys coming down the race at the moment, Darrell, they don't know what the ultimate result is going to provide. Stunning game of football, the first half. What will the second provide? Look at that eye on Meninga. You called it earlier. He must have taken a shot there sometime early in that first half.
Yeah, certainly puffed up. Gavin Allen, he's pumped up. Hasn't he had a fantastic game of defence as this man. Gary Larson walking through shot now. Hancock, tough as they come, Hancock. Dances around and always beats that first man. So Queensland out now. Meninga just settling them down. 2 points the difference. 4-2 at the moment. The Blues in front. Bella. And out comes Laurie Daly. Benny Elias. Harrigan took that awful knock. Eddinghausen, Sirinen. Well, Steve Roach, you've been to the dressing rooms. What's been said?
Well, in the Blues dressing room, they said that their kicking game for the first 20 minutes and their chase was great. But in the last 20 minutes, it was disgraceful. They said, watch for market offence because Steve Walters is making too many yards at the moment. And they're starting to get on top. In the Queensland room, it said, don't waste time. You know, don't waste your chances. You're pushing passes, especially in the last 10 minutes. They could have scored. Graham Lowe said that you've weathered the storm and just keep going. He'd like to see a bit more support, and he'd like to see it keep it nice and tight in the ruck and make them go around them.
All in readiness. I saw that sign there. King Wishart, the Wizard of Oz, from Steel City. Hasn't he had a season? Haven't they had a season, the Steelers? Here we go. The State of Origin decider. The Winfield State of Origin. Game number 3 underway as Sirinen brings it back for the Blues. And a good run too. Buried inside the 22. Back they come, the Blues now. And that's Tim Brasher on now. So Brasher making his first appearance in State of Origin football as Harrigan goes hard. Harrigan goes hard. Oh, he's tough, Harrigan. They belted him down in the first half, and he's opened up the same way in the second half. Gillespie now. Back Back it comes for Stewart. Stewart drives the ball down. Beautifully taken, though. Dear me, Hancock took that ball very well. Again, he beats the first man. They come back and get him.
Brasher's on for Wishart, Darrell.
Wishart is off. Brasher on. This is Larson. Centre field, Larson. But still in their own half, Queensland. Bella charges over the halfway line. Wallace at acting half down. They fire it out for Langer. Langer gets it for Jackson. Jackson can't take it, though. Bouncing ball. Had to be cleaned up. Smith will play it back now to Langer. Langer on to Jackson. Jackson with a little short ball for Meninga, and he just barges his way. Unloads now to Billy Moore. Billy Moore inside the half, midway between the half and the quarter. On the fifth tackle now. Comes back for Langer. He changes the point of the attack. It goes to Shearer. High ball up. Underneath it is Eddinghausen, and the penalty goes to Queensland.
Yes, Elias has knocked Shearer out in the tackle after he kicked it. Darrell Shearer put the high one up. He got the ball from Langer. He was on the inside. He put the high one up. Eddinghausen looks bemused. He doesn't know what's happened. There it is there, and he comes in. Well, he's pulled him down. Darrell Shearer's really taken a dive there. Well done, Rowdy. It'll get you 2 points.
Well, he probably had every right to take something of a dive there, to the extent that there's no reason why Elias should have had his hands on him whatsoever. Penalty has gone against New South Wales. Meninga, another easy kick in front of the post. This will even things up. Not the kind of start that New South Wales were looking for early in the second half.
So Benny Elias walking around with the hands on the hip. Gillespie showing a little bit of pain here too. This will level it up if he can get it. Look at Bradley Clyde. Phil Gould laid back. Would be hurting mentally. Aching at this. Right in front, Meninga. Shouldn't really miss this one. Only about 11 or 12 metres out and almost centre field. There it goes. We've got a tied-up ball game now. The score 4-all in this Winfield State of Origin decider. From the kick-off, Darrell Shearer has taken the ball inside his own half there as they bring it up through Meninga. Meninga, crushing run now, just short of the halfway line. For Jackson. Jackson stepping back inside. Still not out of their territory, though. Queensland trying to hustle and muscle. Langer! Langer with a little break. He's looking for support and no one was there. Lays it back, comes out for Bella. Bella, hard and straight for 4 or 5. His work play midway between the half and the quarter on the fifth tackle. It goes to Langer. He'll put it in the air. Yes, he does. New South Wales have to clean it up. It'll be Eddinghausen. He takes it right on the line, brings it out the 10-metre line. Still going, Eddinghausen. Good run. They spread it out for McGregor. McGregor still inside his 22. The score's locked up at 4-all. Bradley Clyde bashes it over the 22. They're just outside the danger zone. Cartwright takes it now.
And again, it's so evident that Queensland are playing a compact defensive line. All their players spread only about 40 metres across the field. New South Wales looking to go wide, but they're sliding in defence, Queensland. To overcome that, they have to run runarounds. You have to go round somebody and bring the defence up. As Darrell Shearer goes forward, both fullbacks played very, very well for their teams tonight.
Shearer on the halfway line now. He'll play it back for Walters. Walters gets it on the Bronca. For Walters, they turn it back inside through Gavin Allen. They're into New South Wales territory now. It goes to Langer. Naga comes on to Jackson. Jackson, tried to unload it and couldn't get the ball away, though. Too much defence there now. Hancock. Hancock steps. He beats the first one. He comes back, but Elias gets him with a good tackle. Centre field, fifth tackle already. Watch for Langer. Will he kick? Yes, he does for the wingers. Chase goes on. New South Wales clean it up through Eddinghausen. He's been busy tonight. They take him, though, just a couple of metres out from the line.
And now it's New South Wales who are under all the pressure. Queensland have really got their act together. They're getting set up for their backs very early in the tackle count and using them and making plenty of ground.
Paul, probably the most ominous sign for New South Wales is the amount of time that Alan Langer has when he catches the football. Before he kicked in, he ran 10 metres before there was a New South Wales player that approached him.
Well, the Blues just aren't moving up at all, Peter, and now they're having trouble getting out of their own quarter.
So, New South Wales under plenty of pressure here as Cartwright bashes his way forward. Look at this defence from Queensland, though. They just driving back. Fifth tackle already for the Blues. Comes out to Stewart. Stewart now gets it to Daly. Daly's got a bit of room to move. Here's McGregor. McGregor streaking down over the halfway line. He's got support, but he takes the tackle. And New South Wales on the charge.
Great defence from Alan Langer, but didn't Hancock play well? Pointed to his other defensive players as where he wanted them to go. Didn't commit himself. That was a great piece of wing play in defence.
Yeah, and that put the pressure on McGregor, who had the ball, and he had no option but to take the tackle of Langer.
Well, Steve Roach, a great run from New South Wales.
It certainly was. It's the first time they've shifted the ball. But we're not putting any pressure on the Queenslanders. We're running one out, and that forms gang tackling from the Queenslanders.
Kevin Wallace, I noticed on the sideline, come back to centre field in the action, though. It comes back out to the man they call Action Jackson. He goes on, gets a ball away to Hancock. Hancock is wrestled down this time. Hancock desperately trying to get up the play. It was Chris Johnson, wrapped him up. Ball comes out for Billy Moore. Comes off him, he regathers, though. He's taken short of the halfway line. Fifth tackle already. Dale Shearer off at the moment. For Langer. Langer drives the ball down deep. Taken by Brasher. Brasher brings it back. Good run from Brasher too. He takes play halfway, or midway between the half and the quarter. They're looking for the runners. Chris Johns comes in for some work. Still midway between the half and the quarter.
And again noticeable when New South Wales get tired, they become very bunched. That was the situation there when Ben Elias was looking for a ball runner, and they certainly haven't got a great deal of width now.
So Hancock has gone back to fullback because Shearer off the field at the moment. And this ball will find the line down on the 22. So this scrum the pack. Well, a seesawing game at the moment. Possession going one way and the other. Steve Roach played at a fierce pace.
It certainly is, Darrell, but at least Queensland they chip over the top every now and again to break the defence up. I'd like to see Ricky Stewart do that every now and again, or Laurie Daly.
So Brunker to play it. Right on the 22 line, Queensland's into the ground. Kevin Wallace immediately getting into the action. Plays it back to his brother. Comes out to Bella. Bella goes hard and straight. They take him, though. Cartwright over the top. Larson was the decoy. Goes to Billy Moore. Here's a chance now. Oh, look at Darren Smith streaking down the line. And they just get to him. Smith gets up and they come back again. Through Johns. Queensland now the attack. Beautiful run and a messy ball there.
And a penalty. Penalty for infringement in the play the ball against Stewart. And now what will they do here? Will they take the kick for goal? They've got New South Wales on the ropes. They're under pressure.
Alfie Langer screaming out instructions here. Oh, giant break from Queensland.
And that's the man being spoken to, Chris Johns. Looked like he came in a bit late. But some lovely work from Billy Moore to put Darren Smith into a hole. Ricky Stewart came across a very fortuitous ankle tap. There's Martin Bella questioning the referee, but the penalty has gone to the Queensland team. Now the decision whether to kick for touch or to go for goal. Very difficult kick as David Gillespie leaves the field for New South Wales. Gone for touch.
Goes for the line. Well, great run from Smith. Meninga, that eye almost closed up now. And Queensland in a great attacking position. Remember, it's locked up. Bella takes it up. They take him 12 metres out. Allen goes hard and straight, but there's a wall of blue jumpers to meet him. They're right in front of the post, 10 metres out. Meninga looking for Jackson. Oh, misunderstanding there. Went back to Billy Moore. Yes, he had no chance. Running interference there as Shepherd.
I don't know about this penalty. I didn't think the man was impeded, the New South Wales player, against the Queenslanders. Meninga drifts across. See, I don't know that anyone was impeded as far as tackling Billy Moore was concerned.
Well, I tend to agree, but he has ruled that Laurie Daly was the man that couldn't get to the play. He actually bounced back off Meninga. The penalty has gone to New South Wales, and again, they'll be very thankful that Queensland weren't able to play out a full set of 6 inside their 22.
Believe that. The pressure was on them. Now Sheridan midway between the half and the quarter. New South Wales into the ground, gets it back for Elias. Elias gets a pass out for Harrigan. Harrigan taken, though they've only made 2 or 3 in that. No, it was Lazarus. Now it comes for Stewart. They turn it back for Bradley Clyde. He comes on hard and deep. He gets a ball away again. This time it's Harrigan or Ray Warren. They've got a chance with the ball, but they need to play it down the other end of the ground.
Certainly do, Darrell. There seems to be too much one-out stuff from New South Wales at the moment, but the scoreboard, it still says they're there with more than an even money chance. Fittler will play it right on the halfway mark. Eddinghausen sweeping it across the face of Elias, and Stewart rubber kicks down inside the 22 line for Michael Hancock to bring it back. Hancock now trying to beat the New South Wales defence. He does it on 3 occasions. Then he goes back into the centre of the ground almost.
Well, if he's not in the Australian side as the wingman, I'll be very, very surprised. He's had a marvellous series. Queensland gone wide straight away. Peter Jackson moving forward. There is defence there. That's Gary Larson being tackled. But Hancock, great running of the football, and as we mentioned earlier, played very well defensively.
Billy Moore. Maturity of this young man playing in only second state of origin, and he looks more like a leader than a follower. Martin Bella. 156 tackles required by the Blues, 139 by the Queenslanders. They spread the football through Langer and Walters out to Meninga. The big man is tackled right on the halfway mark. 4 points all, penalty goal only in the second half so far. Steve Walters obliged to kick. Andrew Eddinghausen will come back with the football from his own quarter-way line. Eddinghausen spinning out of the tackle by Meninga. Wrapped up by Darren Smith. Stewart. Clyde. Clyde throwing himself at the defence now. Lazarus calling one side. They come the other way with Chris Johns. And again, that Queensland defence converge and thump him into the ground.
Replacement's really becoming an important part of this game now, Ray, and New South Wales, they've got some pretty key men on the sideline. Brad Mackay and Craig Salvatore, a couple of fresh forwards. I think they'll be used very, very shortly.
5 tackles gone for the Blues, played by Harrigan, swept away for Daly. He kicks ahead, picked up by McGregor. Gets it back for Daly. Daly for Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen gets a try. Oh, tremendous play. Lowie Daly, Paul McGregor, and Andrew Eddinghausen.
Well, they're the 3 players. The last tackle, Benny Elias decided to go the blind side. Found Laurie Daly. We've seen him score a State of Origin try before by putting a little kick in behind. He wasn't able to regather, but Paul McGregor, who did come from an onside position, was able to follow through and pick the ball up. There's the little kick. No cover defence here. McGregor onside. Alan Langer finally coming over. There's Mark Coyne affecting 1 tackle, and Laurie Daly kept alive, got the ball back inside to Eddinghausen. A very important try and a jubilant New South Wales team.
Oh, that could have broken the back of the Queenslanders. I doubt it. Laurie Daly, great piece of individual football. McGregor, beautiful hands on him, picks it up, gets a lucky pass in there, and E.T., over he goes, and the Blues have hit the front.
You said that with a modicum of surprise. Aren't we supposed to ever be in front?
No, never.
Eddinghausen, well, nobody has been under the spotlight of criticism more than Andrew Eddinghausen.
And what about this for pressure? Timmy Brasher in his first State of Origin game, taking over the goal-kicking duties.
He comes from Balmain, so I guess Blocker would say this won't even represent any pressure for Brasher. Away it goes, but it's across the face of the uprights. 8 points to 4 in favour of the Blues. Football Stadium. This is the Winfield State of Origin decider. New South Wales leading by 8 points to 4. And more importantly, 2 tries to nothing.
And Steve Roach, you really must have been impressed tonight with the form of your Balmain teammate, Paul Sirinen.
Yeah, his work rate has been tremendous, you know. He's got to get back there and take the ball up hard, and he's done that all night. He's tackled very well. But what a great moment for Andrew Eddinghausen scoring a try. He's copped plenty of criticism, but I think he's played very well tonight.
And you hit the nail on the head, Steve, with the little kick in behind. We hadn't seen that much from New South Wales as they again go wide through Laurie Daly. The little kick in behind broke the defence up, led to a try.
Well, that was certainly the thing that we were looking for. You know, we had to chip over the top or grubber. Queensland had done it on 5 or 6 occasions, and it was the first time that New South Wales had done it. Maybe they were saving it.
Well, Laurie Daly played the ball forward there. And that's smart play as well, because he's run into the defender who was offside. Another penalty. That'll take play inside the half of Queensland.
Penalties at 6-all. Scoreline at 8 points to 4 in favour of the Blues, and Andrew Ettinghausen's 4th try in Origin football. In fact, Andrew Ettinghausen is the veteran of this New South Wales side, playing in his 16th Origin match tonight. Ball being played by Tim Brasher. Elias sweeps it to the right. Stewart shows it to a player going back left. Sirenen takes the tackle. He's put down 25 metres out from the line. Steve Jackson getting ready to come on. Daly switches it from right to left. Long ball by Stewart. Taken high by McGregor. McGregor bumps away from 2. Pulled down by Larson. You don't get away from him very easily. Plays it back for Ben Elias. Now Stewart. Bradley Fittler. Fittler tries to get them away with a fend. He does that. Stewart wrestled to the ground by Langer. And still they're 25 metres out. This is the last tackle. Ben Elias decides to resort to the air. Up she goes. Plenty of hang time up there. The Blues come back with it. 6 more tackles. Benny Elias to play it. He's fishing for a penalty. Brasher pulled down 2 metres from the line.
Queensland is short on their blind side. If the Blues go right, Queensland's in trouble.
Now it's Stewart. He's read the play. It's gone to Ettinghausen. Ettinghausen pulled down by Jackson. Cartwright's the dummy half. Cartwright. He gets it down. It's a try. The Blues, they're in for their 3rd try.
And Darren Smith can't believe it. He was the player that tried to keep John Cartwright from scoring the try. Cartwright read that very well. Saw that the Queensland defence didn't get out off the try line. Decided to go from dummy half. Went in very low. And he gets a hug there from Laurie Daly. That may be the straw that breaks the back. Still a lot of football to go. 21 minutes. But a big lead now. 8 points for New South Wales. And here's the try.
And they switched it right. Before this try, there was no gap there. But now Cartwright, the Queenslanders, Martin Bella once again, just stood on his try line. You can't do that in Origin football. You've got to get off your line. And that's a gift try to the Blues.
And once again, it all came from the kick. Here we see Cartwright. He did very well because he got in low. Darren Smith claims he didn't get the ball down. Difficult to pick up from that angle. No doubt with the referee. But the big kick went up on the 6th tackle. Elias was able to come up with the Michael Hancock fumble. Another series of tackles, and a very, very happy New South Wales side. They can sense a victory.
So the man from Bonanza, Hoss Cartwright, gets his 1st Origin try. The man from the mountains. Brasher now. 15 metres in from touch. 21 metres out. The face tells the story. Brasher strikes it. Better this time. Flags are up. New South Wales 14 points to 4.
And this crowd's gone absolutely wild here. The crowd of 41,878 as Bella comes off. Ball back in play. New South Wales on fire at the moment. Benny Elias plays it back. Up comes Harrigan. In comes the Queensland defence. They pin him there. Comes back for Elias. Elias throws a little dummy. Had Lazarus beside him.
And the man on for Martin Bella is Steve Jackson, who's come into the side for this final game. And places Martin Bella, he didn't have his happiest game, and unfortunate for Bella that he was involved in the 2 New South Wales tries, being the defender that was beaten. Which is a real spring in the step of New South Wales now. A good kick. Michael Hancock looking to beat a very, very good defensive line from the Blues.
And Hancock taken down there by the Blues too. He's only about 8 metres out. They're in plenty of trouble, Queensland, as Coyne runs now. Passes in front of the goal mouth. That's pretty dangerous stuff. Big Mel's going to take the tackle. And they're going nowhere at the moment, the Reds, I'll tell you. The Blues defence really on the job at the moment. They can sniff the victory at 14-4. Gavin Allen, big tackle from Harrigan. He got through it, comes back to Wallace. He's dancing around. This is Kevin Wallace. Came on late in the game. Looking for Jackson. Jackson now starts to stride. Sirenen underneath though. Elias over the top. Fifth tackle. Plenty of time yet. There it is. 18 minutes, 18 seconds left. Not over yet by any means. Eddinghausen scored that try.
There's plenty of time for them, Darrell, but New South Wales have really got their tails in the air. They're going to control this game now. They really haven't got a score again to win it, but they're just really playing some fine football. Queensland are struggling.
And if one thing New South Wales have learned over the 12 years of State of Origin football, it's Queensland are their most dangerous after they've just had tries scored against them. This is a real danger period in defence for New South Wales. Queensland always look to hit back straight away.
Comments from Peter Sterling, Fatty Vautin. They've been out there in the battle zone plenty of times themselves. Cartwright now looking to pop a ball but can't, but they're back in Queensland's half. Elias spreads it out for Stewart. Stewart immediately kicks. Hancock across to cover, but it's going to find touch. Fine kick. Ricky Stewart. Oh boy, he's got his game together tonight.
And we'll probably see Stewart kick for touch a lot more than he normally would. Normally looking for field position. The one thing New South Wales have in their favour is the clock. 17 minutes to go now. The more wasted time with scrums, etc., set plays, it certainly works in their favour.
So the scrum to pack. Queensland's ball. Charging at the Blues' defence. Back to the 22. They need points desperately, and they've got to get to the other end of the ground to do that. Jackson, a man that can make a break. Taken though, right on the 22 line. Plays it back quickly. They go the blind again. Wrestle down, Allen will play it. Meninga goes into acting half, gets it out to Langer. Hurley just managed to take it to pretty flat Queensland at the moment. They're going nowhere. Oh, good ball up this time though. Coyne runs into Dale. He's flung to the ground. Midway between the half and the quarter, Queensland's into the ground. They spread it again through Langer. Langer holds the ball up this time. They rush in and get him though.
Yeah, it's another Shepherd, Darrell. Alan Langer ran behind an attacking player. And this New South Wales would be crazy if they didn't take 2 points here. They're 30 metres out in front. Langer drifts across and gets shepherded by that man there, Kevin Walters.
Yeah, did very well the New South Wales defence to get up quickly on the outside. Queensland, as you saw there, had numbers out wide, but the centre and winger got up very quickly, forced Alan Langer really in behind his own man, and Tim Brasher has another opportunity to push New South Wales further away.
The penalties seem to have gone New South Wales, but really there's only one in it, 7-6.
Well, there were a lot of penalties early on when the referee was setting the trend of the game, and they did go both ways. It's been a great flowing game, so certainly penalties haven't been that instrumental in the 70 minutes of football we've seen, or 65 minutes.
Okay, Benny having a fair bit to say as we're waiting for Brasher to take this kick. Allen has a great game. Well, blocker, pressure kick, you know him better than us. Brasher, his most difficult one so far.
Oh, he's a very confident bloke, Timmy Brasher, and good to see him get a run in the State of Origin. But New South Wales have really taken control since they scored that last try, and there's no way they're going to get beat from here.
So Brasher now with his most difficult attempt. This ball is midway between the quarter and a half. Here he goes. He's just slightly off centre. He got plenty of territory, plenty of distance. Oh, and he gets it too. Great kick from Brasher. Oh, that's rubbing salt into the wound now. 16 points to 4. New South Wales over Queensland. Brasher with a beauty.
He's a very exciting young player, Tim Brasher. Certainly deserves his run in this State of Origin team. One of the top try scorers in the Sydney competition. And he's looked very cool, calm and collected out there, especially seeing he's taken over the goal-kicking duties.
So, now we have New South Wales through Sirenen. Sirenen now brings it back just short of the 22. Out they come again, hard and straight. This is Lazarus. He's taken on the tough mantle of this pack and done a good job too. Harrigan, geez, had a game. He was knocked senseless. Early minutes of the first half, has come back and played really strong. Well, I guess the Great Britain side will be watching this game with a lot of interest, knowing that the Australian jumpers will be awarded after this match tonight. We welcome the Great Britain touring party to contest the Ashes here in Australia. But right now at the Sydney Football Stadium, another gem of a kick, finding the line 10 metres short of the quarter line, so 32 out. And the Blues now, everything they touch seems to go to goal. So Salvatore coming on in 14 for Sirinen. A slap of the hands, and Paul Sirinen will be well pleased with what he's done tonight.
Oh, he's had a great game, Paul Sirinen. I think he's been New South Wales' best forward. His hit-up rate's been outstanding. Defence has been terrific. Queensland now, they're not out of it yet.
Meninga.
Oh, they've got a penalty. You beauty.
Plenty of hope, Matty, yet. The veins in his neck, ladies and gentlemen, are standing out. Remember, Queensland had won all of the deciders in 82, 83, 87, 91, but trailing 16-4 in this one at the Sydney Football Stadium. Well, Meninga having a fair bit to say.
And they certainly haven't got time to be standing around working out what play they're going to put on. 12 minutes, just over 12 minutes left on the clock. They need to score pretty promptly. They are 12 in arrears. Have to score 3 times to win this game. The only way they'll do that is to go to extra time.
So Larson now plays it back. Out it comes for Langan. They try to switch the point of attack through Jackson. Oh, gee, that was a suspect pass in my eyes. Anyway, they're just short of the 22 now. Phil Gould, no emotion. Comes out for Allen. Belts his way another 4 or 5. They're still not into that 22 zone yet, though. Again, they're looking for Langer now. He gets the ball, Langer. Dancing around, but the Blues come and grab him, the little man. Knock him down. They fear him when he starts to move. Ball dribbling along in the in-goal area, though, but it's far too deep. Way back.
Well, not the best kick I've seen from Queensland, looking to attack that in-goal area. Maybe the ball in the air might have been a better option for Kevy Walters. Only 20 metres out. Plenty of runners there. The high ball, anything can happen when that goes up. New South Wales now, all they've got to do is ruck it out, look for a strong kicking game from Stewart.
So the Blues now, Salvatore, his first touch. He goes 4 or 5, just takes the settler, comes back again for Harrigan. Gee, he looks for work, this fella.
Yeah, it's good to see Craig Salvatore brought on, and let's hope that Brad Mackay also gets a run. New South Wales are to go on and win this series. You'd like all 17 players to be involved, and Mackay's been a very, very good performer for the Blues through this series. Had an outstanding second game. 16 points to 4, New South Wales. Not long left, just under 12 minutes.
Cartwright takes it to the halfway line. Elias, where will he go? Puts it in the air, a little chip kick rolling along. Hancock will clean it up. But again, Queensland at the wrong end of the ground and at the wrong end of the scoreboard too. Look at this man, dancing, darting. He's elusive.
Well, hasn't he had a game? They're talking about bringing Willie Kahn back into the Australian side, but if all the Pommies watching this game, they certainly would be a little bit scared of Michael Hancock, the way he brings the ball back.
Gary Coyne warming up on the sideline. 10:29 left in the game. Ball comes out for Langer. Langer now unloads. But they're going nowhere, Queensland. This New South Wales defence totally committed tonight. Knocking men down, ball and all where it's possible. They're playing well. Ray Warren, this last 10 minutes of the decider, the Winfield decider, has everything going for it. Can the Queenslanders get on the board as Jackson kicks, unloads? Now they've got a chance. Queensland up the centre, but they put the ball down and the Blues scoop it up.
And another break can be put down to Gavin Allen. I was about to say, what a big game. Here they go again. Coyne is going to be short. Tried to get it down. Watching the referee. No, he wants it back to the 22 for the restart.
Well, what about the tackle from Timmy Brasher coming from the far wing? Has got across there. That was going to be a certain try for Queensland. Mark Coyne, plenty of speed. Magnificent tackle, Tim Brasher. No doubt that that was not a try. Tim Brasher, take your hat off. Great defence.
Back to the 22 now for New South Wales. One of the last occasions. 9 1/4 minutes of the match remaining. Hasn't John Cartwright come alive since scoring that try for the Blues? Salvatore to play it. Ben Elias scoops it away for Brad Fittler. That big step off the right foot. Pulled out and tackled there by Billy Moore. Gavin Allen just on screen. I don't want to leave that comment short. In a beaten side, he's had a superb game, Gavin Allen. Stewart. He plugs it down deep into Queensland's territory. with the dancing Mr. Michael Hancock to bring it back. Talking of Great Britain, we'll be telecasting their matches over the weekend. Firstly against Canberra and secondly against Illawarra. Walters away for Kevin Walters. He turns and gets it away. A little hit and spin for Jackson, then for Mark Coyne. Tries to stand up, Salvatore. Gets it for Darren Smith. Inside for Langer. Swept away, about a 30-metre pass out for Larson. Larson galloping down the centre of the ground. Away from Eddinghausen, taken by Stewart. They've lost the ball.
The intercept taken there by Eddinghausen. Some great cover there from New South Wales, but what lovely play from Queensland. Never say die attitude. They realise that they have to score tries. They must keep the ball alive to do that. Gary Larson, big run up the centre after receiving the ball from Alan Langer. But E.T. once again on the spot.
Bradley Clyde takes it ahead as we go to the sidelines for a comment from Blocker Roach.
Well, the Queensland side had plenty of space out here on the right-hand side. They should have come this way, but what a great run from Larson then.
And Steve, what about the tackle? Timmy Brasher on the far side. Here's the man, the football now.
Well, you know, Peter, State of Origin makes special moments, and you know, that was great thrill for Timmy Brasher after putting them couple of goals over. To make a tackle like that, he'd be feeling pretty good tonight.
Certainly does. It makes special moments and it makes special people. State of Origin football, and Michael Hancock brought down on his own 32-metre line. Brad Mackay is about to get a run, a little taste of the third State of Origin coming up for Brad Mackay as Peter Jackson is brought down midway, 22 halfway, his end of the ground. Kevin Walters away for Coyne, and Coyne gets it down almost to the halfway mark. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Steve Walters trying to bump away Ben Elias. He's unable to do so. Daly comes over the top. 3 tries to New South Wales, none to Queensland. Jackson, they work the blind side. Billy Moore. Moore taken by Daly. 15 metres away from the Blues line. Langer, he now runs to the centre of the ground. Tries to get a cut-out pass away. Jackson couldn't take it. Kevin Walters grubs ahead. Going in behind the uprights is Brasher. And Brasher comes back into the field of play. Langer meets him and pulls him down. So it's Fittler now. Fittler reaching the quarter-way line, and Graham Lowe, Queensland coach, realising that this one is gone.
It is gone, Ray, because New South Wales are playing very intelligently. Every time Queensland look to keep the ball alive, they have defenders coming across. Brad Mackay into the fray, and that is good to see. But most impressively has been their kicking game from Ricky Stewart, driving it down over the sidelines or into the corners, playing good field position. They don't need to score points. They know that. A good ball up the middle, and here's Harrigan.
Harrigan gets it away. Salvatore. Mackay can't take it. Coming back with the ball is Queensland from Kevin Walters to Mal Meninga. Daly chases Meninga, and the big man is down 40 metres out from the New South Wales line. Adrian Brunker to dummy half. Mackay chases and fells him with a bootlace tackle. Brunker to play it. Dummy half is Steve Walters. Now Steve Jackson inside for Gary Coyne, and Coyne is banged into the ground by Canberra teammate Ricky Stewart. John Cartwright leaves the field. Big game for him. He picked up a try. Penalty has been awarded to Queensland.
And Paul Harrigan took offence to that tackle, not happy. Forget about it, Paul. I think you played your way into a test jersey. And a marvellous performance tonight. Gary Coyne also being spoken to. Queensland will look to kick for touch here. Try and run in a try once again. Here's the incident. Ricky Stewart over the top, as you say, on one of his Canberra teammates. Harrigan underneath. And Coyne, well, he's just played the ball. Harrigan did take offence. They find touch.
So Queensland take the tap, and Steve Jackson it is that belts it up to the 10-metre line. Ward telling New South Wales to get back their 5 as he referees from adjacent to the play the ball. Coyne, he'll play it 5 metres out from the line. Steve Walters, long ball required for Langer. Then they run decoys. Billy Moore. It looked horribly like a shepherd.
Well, it was a blatant shepherd, Ray, no doubt. Should have been a penalty, but...
Steve Walters away for his brother Kevin. He's pulled down 5 metres out from the line. Bad play the ball. Langer Long pass out to Peter Jackson. Stands up Brad Mackay. Finds Gary Coyne. The ball goes to ground and the Blues have it. Brad Mackay will play the ball 15 metres out from his own line.
Well, Queensland desperate to score a try. They haven't been able to get across the New South Wales try line, and that's very rare in State of Origin football. But that's won New South Wales this football game. We mentioned earlier, if you set the platform with your defence, you can be successful. They've done that marvellously well. If your opposition don't score, you can't get beaten.
Yet, Peter, there have been passages in the game, and we've said in commentary that they've looked to be going one out and at times looking a bit tired, particularly late in the first half.
Well, you know, the elite players in this game, they hit that pain barrier and that wall a couple of times in a match. And you do get tired, but you find your second wind, and probably to play this kind of game, you've got to find it 3 or 4 times. Look at this, Elias finding touch once again. That's the way that New South Wales have to play. They've played a very intelligent football game tonight.
Their confidence is now sky high.
Well, my confidence would be pretty sky high out there, 2 minutes 30 left to go, 16-4 on the clock. They haven't got too many problems at the moment.
They certainly haven't, but you can almost see blokes like Cartwright and Elias prepared to try things when they realised that this game was very much theirs. Cartwright is off now, but he's certainly served his team very well. Chip ahead by Kevin Walters, looking for Hancock. Hancock almost got the bounce. Kevin Walters did. Queensland with the ball, 40 metres out from their own line. Bad pass for Langer. Scooped away for Jackson onto Meninga. Meninga gets his pass away. Brunker is pulled down. 5 metres into New South Wales area. 2 minutes of the match remaining. Peter Jackson.
Go!
Just waiting now for Darren Smith to play the ball. They come the blind side. Meninga with a cutout pass for Brunker. But Brad Fittler is there to pull him down.
And the frustration showing with Mal Meninga. The arms went up in the air. He didn't have enough runners out there. They have hit the blind side a fair bit tonight without much success. But I do like watching Queensland play this game. They do move the football. They throw it around. And once again, it's marvellous effort from Queensland to keep them from crossing their try line, because they do try things. Here we go again.
Langer through Peter Jackson and through Billy Moore. Mal Meninga runs it. He loses the ball, trying to squeeze the pass. Salvatore dives on it.
And he can't do a thing wrong, Tim Brasher. Took Mal Meninga on, straight on in defence there. The ball popped out. They had created numbers. There's Timmy Brasher going in, putting his body on the line. Up comes the result. Ball, New South Wales.
Eddinghausen plays the ball back for Brad Mackay. He's wrapped up by Steve Walters. New South Wales shutting it down with 45 seconds of the match remaining. Bradley Clyde back slammed into the ground by Darren Smith and Gary Coyne. Ben Elias, Paul Harrigan, Larson, he makes the tackle with Steve Jackson. Billy Moore makes it 3 on top of the New South Wales front row forward. Now it's Lazarus. The big men are simply powering their way up the ground. They know that it's about to be signalled all over as Ben Elias puts it down the ground. Mark Coyne comes back. Elias chases, makes the tackle. Last 10 seconds of the game coming up. New South Wales, 16 points to 4. Charged down by Brasher. Going back to clean up is Darren Smith. Tackle by Brasher. And the State of Origin for 1992 is over. New South Wales has won the trophy. 4th time in the series conducted since 1982. New South Wales have won it 2-1 in 1992, 16 points to 4, but more importantly, 3 tries to 0. They've now won the Origin trophy in 85, 86, 90, 92. This is the first time they've won a decider in Winfield State of Origin. Scenes of mayhem, of jubilation down there. Face on Ben Elias tells the story. Bradley Clyde and Benny Elias embracing. Tremendous atmosphere. A great battle. As we take you to Paul Vautin, he's on the sideline.
Well, Peter Jackson here, most disappointing, Peter.
Yeah, just couldn't close the deal tonight, Fatty. You know, we had plenty of opportunities to score. they took probably their 3 opportunities and we probably lose 3 or 4, so no excuse, mate.
They really put a blitz on in that second half, didn't they? And Paul McGregor and Laurie Dale are outstanding for them. Ricky Stewart had a fine kicking game.
Yeah, I thought they all played pretty well. You know. The forwards played the way well. They just played, you know. Well, they just took their chances. I think we had as many chances as they did, but they took them better than we did, and that's what it's all about.
At half-time, 4-all, Graham Lowe. Many instructions from him?
Nah, mate, you know, we were doing everything pretty good. We just needed to get a bit more support play.
Yeah, Peter, I know it's very disappointing for him. Steve Roach now, he's got a New South Wales player.
Well, look at these scenes down here. Laurie Daly and Ben Elias. Laurie Daly, the youngest Origin captain for New South Wales ever. And what a thrilling moment for him. And so many of these youngsters, some of them debutants at the start of the year, including that young man, Paul McGregor. Let's go down to Steve Roach. He's with Bradley Clyde, one of the stars of the game.
One of the very good players for New South Wales tonight, Brad Clyde. How does it feel, mate?
Oh, it's great, actually. For the last couple of years, we've been struggling, but we won it again. And the boys deservedly won it tonight because, well, we put in a lot of work for 6 weeks and we finally got the big one.
Johnny Cartwright's try in the second half must have spurred you on. New South Wales side seemed to lift.
We certainly did. We knew we could win it, and that was the only stage we thought we could win it. We got our noses in front. We wanted to stay there desperately.
Well, go and enjoy it, Brad. Good win.
All right, there's Steve Roach. Now let's go back to Paul Vautin. He's with David Gillespie.
Yeah, the big hard-hitting second row from Western Suburbs. He's been here before. Still very excited about it, Dave.
Mate, you know, I played in a couple of grand finals, and this is up with it. You know, we had a good preparation for it, and you know, all the boys wanted to win, and you know, I suppose Queensland did, but we were just better on the night, mate. I think.
You really took your chances, your side, with your inside backs in Daly and Stewart outstanding, and you really took your 3 tries that you certainly earned them.
Well, mate, you know, at half time there was nothing in it. You know, 4-2 going in, and they probably had a bit better of us in the last 20 minutes of the first half, so we had to pull our fingers out, mate, and the boys done it, and you know, full credit to ET and you know and Cardi who barged Dave. You know, they just wanted to win.
Give yourself a hope to make this Australian side being picked in an hour's time.
Mate, I hope so, but you know, look at the players you got in front of you and around you. You know, like if you make it, you know, it's a big buzz.
Well, I think you'll make it. Got Steve Roach now with the New South Wales captain, Laurie Daly.
Well, New South Wales' youngest captain ever to win a State of Origin series. Laurie, tell us how it feels.
Oh, block, it feels tremendous, mate. All the blokes dug in, especially in the second half. And they just played fantastic, and it was great to get a win.
Queensland kept coming back at you. When did you feel that you could win it?
Oh, we felt that we could win it with about a minute to go. That was about all. We know that Queensland are most dangerous when they're behind, and they certainly didn't give up, and you know, full credit to them.
Well, go and enjoy it, mate. You deserve it. Good on you, Loz.
Okay, Steve Roach, thank you very much. Our thanks to all those players down there on the field. Let's go to a break. We'll be back at the Sydney Football Stadium in just a moment.
New South Wales has won the State of Origin series, and down there on the podium is Darrell Eastlake.
Yes, well, thank you, Ken Sutcliffe. And this crowd here, well, they're really soaking up the enjoyment of a fantastic series win. And unfortunately, we've got a few people that want to run onto the ground, but I guess it's party time here. Well, the formalities about to take place, and of course, we have a very important job of awarding the man of the match, and of course the Winfield State of Origin series. If we can have your attention right around the ground, this is a very important moment for your team, New South Wales. And to kick off the proceedings tonight, I would like to call on a man that is the chairman of the Australian Rugby League. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Arthurson to present the Winfield Man of the Match Award.
Thank you, Darrell. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've certainly seen a fantastic State of Origin series this year, climaxed by a magnificent game tonight. And I don't think anybody could complain about the standard of football that we saw out there on the Sydney Football Stadium this evening. And to the everlasting credit of both the New South Wales and Queensland team, the game was played cleanly, it was played in a great spirit. The Winfield Man of the Match, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to announce a man that thoroughly deserved the honour, the winner of the Winfield Man of the Match, Mr. Ricky Stewart.
Firstly, I'd like to thank Winfield for the award tonight. But I know it's a very old cliche, but it's a saying that I suppose every man of the match says it could have went to anybody in the team. I thought it was an exceptional performance by our forward pack, and it allowed the space for our backs to move. And congratulations to Phil and all the staff who have done an excellent job over the last 5 weeks with our preparation. It was the right game plan. Thanks very much.
Never mind the idiots. What about Ricky Stewart, ladies and gentlemen, man of the match? Fantastic game from Ricky Stewart. And of course now the very important presentation of the Winfield State of Origin Shield. To do that honour, I would like to call on the General Manager of the Winfield Company, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Devine.
Thank you, Darrell. The Winfield State of Origin Shield represents the absolute pinnacle in state rivalry and pride. The levels of skills, athleticism, total dedication and intensity never cease to amaze us. We are thrilled to be associated with the Rugby League and with the Winfield State of Origin for so long, and we would want this partnership to continue for a long, long time. That will be courtesy of the politicians. Our congratulations tonight go to both teams. A great spectacle and a great occasion. And on this occasion, I would like to ask Laurie Daly, the captain of the New South Wales team, to come forward to accept the Winfield Shield.
First up, I'd like to thank Queensland, to Mel and all the boys. They put up a terrific series. Bit of bad luck, but to our fellas, they played extremely well, and I thought we really deserved it tonight because I thought we were the better team. To all the supporters that turned up tonight, we'd like to thank you for getting right behind us, and you certainly deserve to be a part of the victory.
There is your captain, Laurie Daly, with a shield, and we've waited a long time to get it a decider. But let's not forget the Queenslanders standing out here tonight. What a series they've put on. Let's hear it for Queensland. What we would like to do now is call the New South Wales team forward, take the shield through Laurie Daly, and let's have a lap of honour. From the Winfield State Champions, New South Wales, your Blues.
scenes here at the Sydney Football Stadium as the Blues do their lap of honour. David Gillespie, he really does love State of Origin, is hoping that he'll make the Australian team when it's announced in about an hour's time. Laurie Daly, a wonderful larrikin-type character. He just loves the support he's been given by the fans here at the stadium. He's enjoyed every moment. I did love his comment, we were the better team tonight, Peter Sterling.
It's going to be the slowest lap of honour you have ever seen, and why not? They thoroughly deserve it. I agree with Laurie Daly. They were the better team on the night, and they're taking their time. Plenty of fans out here, over 40,000, 41,000 to see them here, and they're soaking it all in. A very special moment in these players' careers.
Ricky Stewart said coming into this decider that he didn't think he had a chance of getting the Australian Test jumper, but boy, he's gone a long way tonight.
Well, he's a bigger chance now, Ken. Man of the match in this game, and I thought Alan Langer probably was a lay-down misère for the Australian halfback job, but Stewart has answered that in the best possible fashion by coming up with an inspiring performance tonight. Having said that, Alan Langer, I thought, was a very, very good player for Queensland as well. So a nice dilemma for the Australian selectors to be in.
Wonderful performances there. Young Brasher and, of course, Harrigan, who came back so strongly. John Cartwright, it is a terrific moment here at the football stadium. We will be back after the break. Stadium, it is absolute pandemonium as the Blues do the lap of honour. Nobody's enjoyed this as much as Daly, and of course the coach there, Phil Gould. Oh boy, they had a marvellous night, and I think Laurie will celebrate tonight, Peter Sterling.
Well, Ken, I don't think there's a more popular player amongst his peers and amongst the footballing public than Laurie Daly. You can see the enjoyment and the excitement every time he goes onto the football field. He plays the game as the true champions play it, with no holds barred for the full 80 minutes, and he has a passion for the game, and I think the fans understand and see that, and I think that's why they warm to him so much. We all warm to him.
Harrigan, what a good kid he is. He came back from that heavy knock, and then you saw Tim Brasher. Two beautiful things, two great tackles.
Well, he has got a physique for a footballer, hasn't he, Paul Harrigan? And yeah. I mentioned during the telecast, I think that an Australian Test jersey is in the offing for him. I thought his performance tonight just confirmed that. But it's very difficult to sit through a game as an ex-player and watch quality performance like we saw out there tonight. You really do miss it. I did not see one bad player out there amongst the 34 players who participated. And any people who thought that the game was boring, Queensland may not have scored a try, but their performance was not boring by any stretch of the imagination. There's another adoring fan, Free T. He's got a few of those as well. But I just thought it was a magnificent game and a great way to end a series. Your expectations are always very high. It lived up to it tonight.
All right, well, the man we just saw on camera enjoying a little bit of company was E.T. Scored his 4th try in the State of Origin series, and what a beauty, and we badly needed it, all the Blues badly needed it.
Well, we certainly did, and E.T., I thought, capped off a very good performance all round by scoring the try, set up once again by the good work from Laurie Daly. On the last tackle, they decided to run the football. Ben Elias got out of dummy half. Daly came through, took the option of rolling one in behind the line, and that was the smart play. Even though he didn't get to it, he was able to stay alive. McGregor got through, picked the ball up, picked up Laurie Daly, and E.T., like all good fullback support players, was there on the inside. Some quick hands from Daly, put E.T. in for a try.
Well, Peter, let's take a look at it right now.
5 tackles gone for the Blues, played by Harrigan, swept away for Daly. He kicks ahead, picked up by McGregor, gets it back for Daly. Daly for Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen gets a try.
And as we said, the good play was to move the football out of dummy half on the final play, not the immediate kick. Laurie Daly able to run to the line, get a nicely weighted kick just in behind the cover defence. Alan Langer a little bit late coming across, but good support play by firstly Laurie Daly to stay alive after kicking the football. We see him drop the ball on the boot here, got pushed out of the way, able to get around Mark Coyne and get back into the action, back inside. Some nice quick hands again from Daly, and here's E.T. looming up. Very important try. That broke the deadlock.
Yes, it made it 12-4 right now. Let's take a look at that second try in the second half. John Cartwright really had his tail up after this one.
Queensland's in trouble.
Now it's Stewart. He's read the play. It's going to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen pulled down by Jackson. Cartwright's the dummy half. Cartwright. He gets it down. It's a try.
Well, Cartwright took advantage of the pressure they'd been able to build up. Before this set of 6, we'd seen the ball go high, Michael Hancock spill a bomb, They decided to go to the right-hand side. Martin Bella didn't get off the line, neither did Darren Smith, and that was the key play. John Cartwright has had the presence of mind to pick the ball up, scooted out of dummy half, and he got down low. Got underneath Martin Bella. Darren Smith was very disappointed that this try was awarded. He believed that the ball hadn't been grounded, but Cartwright did some great work there for a big man to get down so low and to get out so quickly from the dummy half area.
Well, Peter, the lowest scores for Queensland, the lowest tally of points in a series.
Well, take your hat off to New South Wales with their defence. Now, I believe if you're going to be a champion in any sport, you've got to have good defence. We've been critical of the way New South Wales certainly played the second game, but defensively they've been very sound in all three games. To keep a Queensland side with the quality of players, especially attacking players that they have in the team, from crossing your try line in an 80-minute display, that's a magnificent effort, and that's what that game tonight and the series was decided on.
No complaints about the way they went about business tonight. More at the Sydney Football Stadium when we return. The Blues have taken out the State of Origin series for 1992. Let's take a look at Footy Tab and see if you picked up a few dollars tonight. Pick the score. New South Wales 16 defeated Queensland 4, $265.65. That's what it paid. All right, what we've got coming up for you: earlier matches, SG Ball Finals, St George 20, Canterbury 0, Jersey Flag Final, Newcastle 26, West 16. Friday night football coming up this week, 8:30 p.m. It will be a beauty, entertaining football. South Sydney Rabbitohs taking on the Illawarra Steelers. Then Saturday, we're going to see the Great Britain side up against Canberra at 9:30 p.m. Check your local guides for that one. On Sunday, in the match of the day, the Sea Eagles up against their old rivals, the Great Derby, the Bears. Check your local guides, 6:30 p.m. And Monday, the long weekend, of course, at Steelers Stadium. Great Britain up against Illawarra, and you can see that 3:30 p.m. Once again, check your local guides. Well, Peter Sterling, of course, we can be selectors right now, because that's what the Australian selectors are doing right now, going over who should be in the Test team to meet Great Britain. Your side?
Well, very difficult, Ken. Really, if you don't make the Test side after participating in the State of Origin series, you have rights to be disappointed. A lot of contentious positions may have been decided tonight in some people's minds. I still can't toss up between a few, but I'll go with ET at fullback. I think Eddinghausen did enough tonight, certainly played very, very well. The best game that he's had in the series. I think he'll retain the number 1 shirt. Hancock and Wishart are my wingers. Wishart didn't play the second half, so hopefully injury-wise he will be okay. Maybe a little bit controversial, but I've got to move Laurie Daly to the centres. I think that we can afford that luxury, and it is a luxury, to move Laurie into the centres with Mal Meninga. Peter Jackson's got to be in my side. I thought he was great again tonight, and his best position is 5'8". Alan Langer will be my half-back. I don't know, even though Ricky Stewart was the man of the match tonight, that he did enough to oust Langer, who, again, had a very good game. My pack, well, I've got to go Brad Clyde. I thought he played well. Sirinen turned me around tonight. His participation tonight was very, very good. The best game of State of Origin football I've seen Paul Sirinen play. He will be in the second row with a man who didn't play tonight in Bob Lindner. Injury forced him out, or illness forced him out. He wasn't able to perform, but I don't think that will have done his chances any harm. He'll still be named. Harrigan, great performance. He'll be in the front row with Glenn Lazarus. And I've gone for Steve Walters again in a photo finish over Ben Elias. That may surprise a few people, but I just think Steve Walters has done enough. I thought that his performance again was very, very good, as was Elias's. Whichever way they go, it's a very strong side. I'm not even going to try and pick the bench. McGregor deserves to be there. Gillespie deserves to be there.
Your front row again?
Harrigan and Lazarus.
Lazarus, yeah.
Yeah, so, but again, Ken, you know, we could put any players in there. Gavin Allen had another fine game tonight. Gary Larson played well.
McGregor, I mean, he's really pushed his claims for a centre position.
Well, and he'll push his claims more if the selectors are keen to leave Laurie Daly at 5'8". He's the best 5'8" in the world, so it's a bit double Dutch for me to be moving him. But for the balance of the team and to get Peter Jackson into the side, I think that would be the way that I would go as a selector. And it also gives you, again, the luxury of being able to move Jackson into the centres and Laurie back to the action at 5'8" throughout the course of the match.
Are you reluctant to say Mal Meninga might be under a bit of pressure?
Mal Meninga's, I think, the first player chosen in the side. We may have been critical of him over the last few weeks, but he'll be the first player picked in the side. He'll captain the side, and he'll be the thorn in the side of the Great Britain tourists when they come up against him, because, you know, I don't think he's done too much wrong, and he's a dangerous player.
Well, E.T., he came out, he needed a good game, didn't he, to keep Shearer at bay?
Well, he did, and Darrell Shearer was playing very well while he was on the field tonight, so maybe by coming off, that will have hurt his chances, because Eddinghausen was able to continue his good form early in the game throughout the entire 80 minutes. He scored a try, needed to be there, and good support play from the fullback. So he did everything right tonight, was very safe under all the balls. The long kicking game from Queensland was well nullified by his returning of the football, and I think he's done enough. I don't know how close I'm going to be, but I do think that those players will be the team that'll do Australia proud, as they all would.
I think you're going to get fairly close. Thanks for your company tonight, Sterlo, and thank you for your company out there. We will return with more from the wide world of sports, beginning, of course, Friday Night Football, 8:30. Until then, bye for now.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.